Hello YouTube, this is Alpha White Wolf bringing you the latest in the Death Battle reactions. This one is a Megaman Battle Royale. Right up front, I don't know much about Megaman. I know enough about him from his fight with Astro Boy in the Death Battle, and from Sigma's fight with Ultron. Beyond that, I'm almost completely in the dark. Never played any of his games, never watched any of his TV shows. Maybe I watched them when I was a kid, just don't remember it. But yeah, right now I have no prediction about who's going to win. I'm going to save making a prediction until after I hear about each one. This one's releasing a little bit later than I would like, but that's because by the time that this Death Battle released, I was in bed last night. I get up to go do my job in the morning after having to attend some seminars for college. I didn't notice it had released. I go through the entire day and stumble across that Death Battle has released this. It was so tempting to watch it. I'm not going to watch a Death Battle without doing a reaction to it. So as per usual, this is the first time I'm seeing this video. After the reaction, I'll kind of give you some updates about the channel. But without further ado, let me get these on. Let me get this moved over, right over here. Let me just get rid of this. Okay. So that's all good. I was testing out some stuff with another video. Forgot to get rid of that. All right. Playing in 3, 2, 1, and go.
Today we've got access to all sorts of personalized data, and 23andMe can help you learn about yourself with the most trustworthy source around, your own DNA.
With more than 125 genetic reports, 23andMe can give you insight about your health, physical traits, and more.
Feel like you can never quite get enough sleep? You might not be imagining things. It could be your genes.
Buy your own health and ancestry service kit today at 23andme.com.
These must be some really good sponsors.
Number 23andme.com/deathbattle.
Megaman may be an icon by himself, but others have carried on his legacy, creating real immortality.
Immortality? Not on this show. Time to find out which Megaman is the most mega of the men.
While there are many versions of the character to choose from, not that one, this battle will feature the 5 most prominent. The classic era Megaman.
Megaman X.
Volnut from the Legends series.
Battle Network's Megaman.exe.
And the alien Star Force Megaman.
He's with an
I've never heard of the last 3.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win
a Death Battle.
In the year 20XX, the brilliant Dr. Light would change history forever, developing machines with AI so advanced it mimicked actual life. His goal was a world where robots and humankind could live together in trust and harmony.
I want all you watching to remember that, because right off the bat, Light's partner Dr. Wily reprogrammed the bots and tried to take over the world. Just the first in a lifetime of dick moves.
To combat this threat, Light upgraded one of his prototypes, Rock, into the original, the classic Megaman.
Classic, huh? What's next? Diet Megaman? Cherry Vanilla Megaman? Megaman Zero?
So one of those, technically yes, but that's much later. Megaman is armored with ultra-strong Ceratanium, and comes equipped with the Mega Buster, a literal hand cannon for each arm.
What, no quip about titanium?
When energy bloops aren't too deadly, he can charge them up to tear through Robot Master ass like nothing. Meant to do that. There was a fly.
I'm sure.
Got him.
Megaman's most notable tool is his variable weapon system, which allows him to copy the data of fallen enemies to gain their weapons as his own.
So now he can cut you down with the metal blade, light you up with the napalm bomb, and burn you alive with atomic fire, which is twice as hot as the surface of the sun. He's basically got a tool for every occasion.
Sure, he can shield himself with the Skull Barrier, reflect projectiles with the Mirror Buster, bypass armor with the Centaur Flash, stop time with the Time Stopper, and create localized...
Just adjusting my microphone.
Bomb.
case this little blue buddy needs a boost, he can activate his double gear system, which is basically Roboroids. They jack up his power, his speed, or both at the same time.
And with his robotic canine companion Rush, Megaman can access his super adapter form, which grants him flight, a boost in power, and rocket-propelled punches.
Megaman is strong enough to lift a 60,000-ton tower. He's tough enough to survive the gravity of Jupiter, the heat of the
gravity
sun,
of
and
Jupiter.
Zero. Plus, he's fast enough to keep up with Quickman.
I remember that
He
one.
can dodge lightning and can get close to the speed of light.
Megaman has battled over 100 Robot Masters and other robotic foes, including Sunstar, who was powerful enough to self-destruct and destroy the Wily Star, basically a small Death Star.
Okay.
With its size in mind, this would need energy equivalent to over 7 trillion megatons of TNT.
Too bad all that power runs on limited ammo, though.
Megaman would carry the banner of peace across the world, fighting Wily's tyranny and spreading Dr. Light's dream of human-robot coexistence. And everyone lived happily ever after.
Wait a minute.
Until they didn't.
There it is.
He's the greatest creation of my career, and I will call him Megaman.
Megaman. I like it.
No.
Flash forward 100 years when the archaeologist Dr. Kane happened upon a sleeping blue android hidden deep within a ruined laboratory. Unlike the previous model, this android possessed free will indistinguishable from a human's. This wasn't Megaman. This was Megaman X.
Why does he look like a broodier version?
By the late Dr. Light to be better than the original Megaman model in every way.
Aware of the danger that such a powerful android could be, Light locked him away in a capsule that ran tests on his morality for 30 years.
And what better way to match decades of good boy training than waking up to worldwide war?
Dr. Kane began mass replication of X, but his process was imperfect.
Oh.
These Reploid robots went maverick and embroiled the world in centuries-long warfare.
Of course.
Despite being a pacifist, X felt obliged to step in and help. His go-to is his X-Buster, which can fire off single shots of condensed solar energy, or charge up
Solar
several
energy.
times over for even more power.
He also carries his partner Zero's Z-Saber, a beam sword that can reflect projectiles and cut through nearly everything.
But he wouldn't be a true Mega Man without the ability to scan and copy other robots' weaponry.
He has copied countless elemental weapons that control fire, lightning, wind, water, and ice, as well as bombs, missiles, mines, drones, lasers, and force fields.
He can
Impressive.
shoot out black holes, turn invincible for a short time,
Black holes,
and
of
create
course.
a clone of himself, which I really wish I could do.
He can stop
Why?
time and even resist similar effects when other robots try their own time stoppers.
But when he gets serious, he breaks out his ultimate armor. It doubles his durability, gives him unlimited ammo, allows him to fly and attack with the Nova Strike move, and teaches him some super-powered moves like the Hadouken and Shoryuken. Yeah, turns out Dr. Light was a fan of Speedway.
But possibly his
Of course he
greatest
was.
ability is what the X in his name refers to. The X factor that is his limitless evolutionary potential.
Which is your typical anime bullshit. Powered by love or friendship or puppies or whatever, X has completely regenerated from near death and even reformed his whole body in only a few seconds from just his metal core.
With all his immense
Okay.
power, X has defeated dozens of Mavericks.
That might be a game changer.
The General once tanked a planet-destroying laser, the energy of which would require 57 quadrillion megatons of TNT. He can move fast enough to dodge Optic Sunflower's light-speed lasers and survive channeling enough energy through his body to annihilate all of Japan.
After years of fighting, he managed to destroy his arch-enemy, the Sigma virus, with his most powerful weapon yet, the Mother Elf, aka the latest thing to join our Hall of Fame of terrible, terrible names for awesome stuff.
The Mother Elf is like a living antivirus software that can heal X's wounds, increase his power, and completely rewrite a Reploid's code, giving him complete control over cybernetic beings. That's how he defeated the Sigma virus, by erasing it from every Reploid in the world all at once.
And the day
That would
was
be needed.
finally saved. Well, until the Mother Elf was corrupted and the biggest war ever broke out all over again. But for the ultimate peacekeeper, X sure spent a lot of time kicking ass.
As long as there's hope, we can change the future.
Okay, who's next?
Thousands of years later, the world was consumed by a great flood. Humanity was all but extinct.
The world got so shitty, the man in the sky himself had to step in and flush that thing.
All that remained on the planet was a race of artificial life forms known as carbons. But some of humanity survived in the orbital space station, the Elysium. This station housed the Master System, a computer program designed to control the
Gotta be named after the Greek paradise.
But over time, all the humans on board died. Except for one, the Master, and his assistant, a carbon known as Megaman Trigger.
Since the carbons were basically the only humanoid life forms left in this super sad world, this last human figured they deserved free reign of the planet. So he told Trigger to destroy the Master System. Though I'm pretty sure Nintendo already did that.
Despite being a purifier unit designed to protect the Master System, Trigger obeyed.
But thanks to this chick Sarah, he got his robo-butt whooped hard, lost all his memories, and got turned into a baby.
Sealed away for years, he was eventually discovered by carbon diggers who named him Volnut. And thus began his journey to stop the Master System, battle pirates, and trigger his lost memories. See what I did there?
Wiz, gotta talk about something you said there. Why did they name him Volnut? What a dumb name! The only thing dumber than that name was that stupid pun that you made. Well, to save the day, Volnut has, surprise, surprise, the Mega Buster, and he can switch out his right arm for a bunch of special weapons, like a machine gun, a spread gun, homing missiles, grenades, mines, a sword, a reflector shield, and his most powerful weapon of all, the Shining Laser. It's a laser that shines. Like, a lot. It's good.
He wears armor which lets him hover for extra speed, and also shields that can make him briefly invulnerable and invincible.
That's it? No stopping time or farting black holes out of his butt? I guess it's not that bad.
Well, most of these weapons pull from the same energy source rather than separate pools, and they each need to be swapped out manually.
Yep, starting to think we found Diet Mega Man.
Don't underestimate him. Volnut is a charming hero with a lot of power. He can lift 9.5-ton stone blocks, move fast enough to evade meteors, which re-enter Earth's atmosphere at Mach 33, and even tank them head-on. That's a kinetic energy equivalent to 38 tons of TNT. He's defeated scores of giant mechs and even Sarah in a rematch for the ages. All in a day's work for Mega Man Volnut.
Don't worry, Yuna.
Why?
I know Ro. She'll come looking for us, no matter what happens.
Whoa. Don't try and pull that happily ever after crap. Humanity went extinct, the planet is flooded, and the last Mega Man is stuck in space forever because Legends 3 is never gonna happen. That peaceful future Dr. Light fought so hard for turned out to be total bullshit. And if you think about it, it's all his fault. Love and peace are lies, God is dead, and we're all totally...
Alright, Boomstick.
This timeline, but luckily, there is another.
Oh god.
Let's
Marvel and
go all the
DC
way
didn't
back
do it
to the
enough.
year 20XX. Imagine, instead of revolutionizing science with robotics, Thomas Light focused on computer sciences and created a world dominated by the internet and digital AI. Oh, and his name was also Tadashi Hikari.
Oh, great, the AI Overlord timeline. Hey, Siri, please don't kill everyone and take over the world.
I didn't catch that boomstick.
Oh god, it's already happening!
The internet infrastructure Hikari worked on was so complex, it became its own separate universe known as the Cyber World. This unpredictable digital universe was managed by sentient computer programs called NetNavis.
Reminds me of those digital Pokemon. What are those called again?
Hikari had a grandson named Lan. Yes, that's really his name. And Lan had one of the best NetNavis around, Megaman.exe. Together, they became the most successful virus-busting duo in both the real and cyber worlds, and saved both countless times.
EXE can shoot foes down with his regular or charge shots with his, yes you guessed it, Mega Buster. He can fly with his Mega Booster and cook the shit out of a Thanksgiving Day turkey with his Mega Baster. Okay, maybe he doesn't have that last one.
His true strength, however, lies in Lan's enormous collection of battle chips, which contain a variety of different weapons and tools for EXE to use. He has over 1,500 of these.
You know the drill by now. He's got cannons, shotguns, spread guns, mini bombs, big bombs, time bombs, shockwaves, earthquakes, meteor swords, kunai boomerangs, and an incredibly deadly yo-yo.
That doesn't even scratch the surface. He can create black holes, move objects with telekinesis, turn intangible and invisible, dispel force fields, resist having his data assimilated, uninstall customized programs and weapons data in enemies, and use Gigafreeze to put programs and even the whole internet in stasis.
That why my internet went down last night? I might have to break out boomstick.exe and kick his ass. How do I Alt F4 this little bastard?
Good luck getting past EXE's defenses. His dark aura is a barrier so tough, it could survive the end of the entire cyber world. And since EXE is a digital program, not an organic being, he survived being impaled, losing limbs, and even being blown to bits before pulling himself back together.
Wait a minute, if he's just a program like you said, can he even fight in the real world like other super fighting robots?
He's done so before. He can enter the real world through special dimensional areas, or through sheer power output alone. He can even merge body and mind with Lan using full synchronization, a technique only possible if both beings have a strong mental bond.
Fusion ha! Well, turns out EXE and Lan are super close because, plot twist, EXE is Lan's stillborn dead baby brother turned into a computer program. Wow!
Yeah, well, when they bond perfectly, they enter hub form, a state powerful enough to defeat Nebula Gray and the Dark Galaxy universe with just a wave of his hand.
EXE is tough enough to survive a planet-sized Psybeast exploding. That's a blast worth over 14 septillion megatons of TNT.
He's quick enough to search practically the entire cyber world in less than a minute, and powerful enough to absorb and recreate the same cyber world in a single move. And after all of that, Lan retired from virus busting to become a scientist whose research would play a part in the next generation of Megaman.
Pretty impressive for a guy who spends all his time jacking off. I'm sorry, Wiz, we had to work that in.
I understand. 200 years later, the world had yet again progressed, this time with the advent and proliferation of electromagnetic, or EM, wave technology, which is a fancy way of saying they switched their main resource from internet cyberspace to basic radio waves.
Well, at least radio waves will never try to take over the world and commit genocide.
Oh, you say that now. This is Geostellar, the son of astronaut Kelvin Stellar. Okay, first Lan, now Kelvin, these names are killing me, but anyway, Kelvin got lost in space after being attacked and captured by a race of aliens made of electromagnetic waves known as FMians, like FM radio aliens. FMians.
Luckily for Kelvin, he made friends with an EM alien kitty thing named Omega Zis, who tried to help him escape by zapping him into radio waves. It wasn't the best idea ever, but eventually Omega and Geo met up and merged together to become Star Force Megaman.
And with this transformation, Geo acquired and amplified all of Omega's EM powers. Namely, as a being composed of EM waves, he's effectively invisible and intangible.
We passed right through!
We're EM waves, remember?
Though the latter usually requires conscious thought to activate. He can also fly, teleport, survive in space, turn living beings into EM waves, and manipulate data itself to control other machines from the inside out.
Remember when Megaman used to just be a cute little robot? Now he's a radio alien cat fusion thing. Well, at least he still has the Megabuster, which does exactly what it did the last 4 times. Moving on.
Actually, this Megabuster is a bit different. Not only does it charge automatically when not in use, it can be modified with different wizard equips, no relation, to change its power, speed, and status effects.
It would have been a lot better if it had boomstick equips.
Well, I'm sure there's something boomstick related in Geo's nearly 600 battle cards, which provides Star Force Megaman with numerous special weapons.
He's got guns, swords, hammers, axes, scythes, bombs, missiles, lasers, meteors, shockwaves, a crap ton of elemental attacks, and when all else fails, he can just use his bare hands.
He can paralyze foes, drain their health, summon black holes, turn invincible, heal wounds, create force fields, summon other EM beings for special attacks, and control noise.
Control noise? So like, when my neighbor plays music really loud, he could just turn it off with his mind?
No, but I thought you lived in a trailer in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, man. Animals are getting smarter.
Right. Noise is excess energy created by EM beings, kind of like static. When utilized properly, it can cause machinery malfunction similar to an EMP, drive EM beings insane, and, if he absorbs enough of it, allow Geo and Omega to change into even more powerful forms.
His greatest form is Red Joker, which can fire the Red Gaia Erasure, a huge laser that'll reduce your body to EM particles and shoot them across the atmosphere.
While you're still conscious.
Talk about one hell of a way to go.
With all these powers and more, Geo and Omega have the resume to match. They've defeated dozens of enemies, including Sirius,
Ha! We got her!
who was powerful enough to move a black hole hundreds of millions of miles in a single day. The black hole in question was Sagittarius A, which has a mass 4 million times greater than the Sun. Factoring in its mass and the speed it traveled, we can get a kinetic energy of 4.6 decillion megatons of TNT. Enough to obliterate a solar system.
Then Starforce survived inside of that black hole like it was nothing. And since he's made of radio waves, he's as fast as light.
Though some other EM beings were able to fly from the center of the Milky Way galaxy to Earth in only 3 days. That's over 3 million times the speed of light.
Starforce even fought EXE once. He technically lost, but he was just holding back to make sure he didn't Marty McFly the future away.
But of all his accomplishments, his greatest feat was one that no other
So
Megaman
he and
up until
EXE
that point
fought.
had achieved. This world, and this timeline, actually turned out pretty great.
Oh.
All thanks to Starforce Megaman. All right, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
But first, I need a mega meal from Blue Apron.
Add. Okay. So, right now the two that are really standing out to me are Starforce and EXE. That fight between the two ending in EXE's favor because Star Fox was holding back, that's an important one, I think. But I also think that the sheer amount of equipment that EXE has is really going to make up for that and possibly put the advantage in his favor. Honestly, I don't know who to pick off the top of my head, so I'm going to go with EXE on the basis of his equipment and arsenal. So yeah, I'm voting for Megaman EXE to win this fight.
But right now,
It's time for a death battle! No premise. It's like a really messed up game of King of the Hill. Now these two duking it out. Come on, EXE. Uh-oh, showing some damage. I think that's X and original. X and the original looking a little worse for wear. Oh. Uh-oh. Oh, run. Oh boy. That's right, he can cancel it. I don't even remember what his name was. Like Mega Man Trigger or something. Oh. He was taking X with him. Not a good sign. Okay, so it's like X. I can't tell who this is. It's
Whoa! I was sure X or Star Force had this one in the bag.
Surprisingly, this battle's victor was fairly clear-cut. While the original 3 Mega Men had many impressive feats, they were all outclassed by EXE and Star Force's cosmic-level feats.
And poor Volnut couldn't keep up with any of them. Even Classic had a leg up with his huge variety of weapons, but his limited ammunition meant he would never last.
so EXE won?
Plus, X was
I couldn't tell the difference between him and Star Force.
X's Mother Elf may have rewritten the code of the Reploids in his time, but both EXE and Star Force were much more powerful data beings who have resisted similar rewriting before. In particular, Star Force's noise manipulation gave him a huge advantage over the Mother Elf, which we know to be fairly vulnerable to corruption.
But I know what you're thinking. Star Force is 200 years ahead of EXE. Shouldn't his tech be way better? He even held back in their cannon fight. That's, to clarify, a cannon and story, not they were both using their cannons.
True, but so did EXE. Neither were fighting at their full potential, as made evident by their other feats. At best, Star Force may move 3 million times the speed of light, but EXE was fast enough to search the whole cyberworld universe in a brief period of time, and powerful enough to later destroy it in its entirety.
And the cyber world isn't just a hard drive with some gigabytes. It's a universe with stars and galaxies and the whole shebang.
To clock EXE's speed, we first need to find the volume of EXE's field of view compared to the volume of the observable universe. With that, we can determine the number of passes EXE made across its diameter in order to search everywhere. While the manga doesn't give an exact time frame, the situation EXE is in is dire. His ally, Base.exe, is on death's door. So Mega Man's solution is to zoom around the universe as fast as possible until he happens upon some tool or weapon that can help.
That doesn't sound like it should work. But it does, and he couldn't have been gone for more than a minute or Base would have been done for.
So with that in mind, EXE must have been traveling over 3 novemdecillion times the speed of light. That's 60 zeros long.
Wiz, I'm pretty sure we just set a new record for highest number ever on this show.
You know, I think so. And it also goes without saying that while Star Force's solar system level black hole feat was impressive, EXE destroying an entire universe is far superior. About 200 quintillion times more, if you're curious.
Don't forget that EXE's arsenal of battle chips is much larger than Geo's collection of battle cards. Also, EXE could have just used chips like Uninstall, Interrupt, and Catcher to disable all the other Mega Man's weapons and programs whenever he wanted.
Well, except for Volnut, ironically, because his weapons were manual rather than programmed.
You got one, buddy.
All the Mega Men are good at what they do, but at the end of the day, EXE had the speed, power, and the tools needed to be the best super fighting robot.
This battle totally rocked. Man.
The winner is Megaman.exe.
Okay, I'm glad I was right about that. Alright, who's next?
Hey, thanks for watching this episode. If you want the battle music for yourself, you can get it by clicking the link below.
Or you can check out exclusive commentary on this episode or another video by clicking right over there.
Widowmaker? No. Black Widow? Okay. Looks like on March 20th. Okay. One, this was an awesome battle. Like I said at the beginning, I'm not very familiar with Mega Man in general. but I am happy that I was able to pick up on at least some of the advantages that EXE had. I'm excited about the Black Widow versus Widowmaker. Looking forward to that. But now, a bit of updates on the channel. So if you've been keeping an eye on the channel, you will have noticed that I've started to upload God of War 3. I'm still working on editing out the last half or so of the game into uploadable chunks. So that's in the process. I'm also in the process of going to college, so I have to be juggling that, and I'm actually going to be taking care of some courses after I'm done with this video. Learning the guitar. I have an acoustic guitar that I'm learning to play. And on top of all that, recording Devil May Cry. I've already recorded Devil May Cry 1 and 2. I'm currently in the process of finishing off recording Devil May Cry 3. I'm doing the Virgil gameplay of it. Once I get done with that, I'll start on Devil May Cry 4. Then I'll start turning to some of the other games on my list. The God of War, Chains of Olympus, and Ghost of Sparta. I'm going to go to Doom for at least one gameplay, some gameplay videos there. And then after all of that, or somewhere in the middle of all of that, I'm going to start doing a kind of retro gameplay where I hook up my old N64, pop in Ocarina of Time, and start recording N64 gameplay. I'm actually really looking forward to that. But in any case, thanks for visiting. Thanks for watching this video. If you like the video, just indicate so down below. If you have suggestions for future videos, matchups, games you want me to play, games you want to see on the channel, go ahead and leave them down in the comments below. If you are enjoying the content that you're finding on the channel, please hit subscribe. It really helps out the channel and is a source of huge pride, especially because now Gaming Glatorius has over 100 subscribers. You probably have seen that already, but it's a big deal for me. It's a big deal for Reaper. Both he and I are very excited about this. It might not seem like a lot compared to other channels. Let's face it, if you're comparing a channel to PewDiePie, for example, their subscriber count is not going to be very impressive. But it is really awesome that we're finally at 100 subscribers. And every once in a while, that little number just ticks a little higher. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. I know I enjoyed the death battle. This has been Alpha White Wolf. I'm signing off. You keep howling, Wolfpack.